Put the fucking mic on.
All right, so I am excited. We have been looking for a long time. We're always sourcing products for the law-abiding biker store, and we found a very cool item that every biker needs. You'll understand why in a second. So when we source stuff, we want to make sure that it's reliable, affordable, durable, all the things that make a great product and something that I would carry. Now, why would you want to be stranded over a simple roadside repair? All right, this is how this all started, is why I'm saying this. If you look at my documentary films, you'll see multiple times where we use our beloved Cruise Tools RTH3 travel toolkit. We also have them available for Indian motorcycles, also for metric. These are travel emergency roadside repair. They're roll-up toolkits, very compact. So that's how this journey started. And they are wonderful kits, and they have just what you need. And again, in my documentary films, you'll see us actually using these to get us back on the road so that we don't have to delay our trip any more than having to make the repair. You can do it in a parking lot alongside the road, and we don't have to call a tow truck. Can you imagine, guys, you're on a trip and you've got hotels lined up, you've got a schedule, we've got patron meetup. I mean, we are on a schedule. And to have to tow it to a dealership or something like that sets you back a day. And now, are you even going to make the hotel that you had the reservation? Now so you get it. It becomes a mess over most things that you can just repair very quickly, whether that's even just like a loose highway peg or something like that, or a battery exchange. Anyways, so that's how this was born. I will have you know there's a lot of cheap brands online everywhere. We're going to be coming out with a video very soon. You'll see this Stockton brand from Komodo Holdings, which is Revzilla JMP Cycles. It is super cheap, both price-wise, and it is super cheap what you get. We have one in hand because we're going to do a review video. There is no warranty on those tools. We use Cruise Tools. Yes, they are more expensive, but they are much higher quality than any of that Stockton junk, guys. And they back them so much that with your Cruise Tools, you get a lifetime warranty on it. So you are doing a roadside repair, you bust one, Cruise Tools, we got your back. Cruise Tools got your back. It's going to be replaced, guys. That's the difference. You will not get that with Stockton or anything like that. And it doesn't, when you look at the toolkits, it doesn't even have exactly what you need. It's just a one-off, it's just the cheapest pot metal stuff. It's just horrid. So be aware of that. We encourage you to get a Cruise Tools from our store. It's backed. You're going to be able to take it from bike to bike. Now, with that said, that's the background. And so I was like, Cruise Tools has everything we need. We know we've used it over past 10 years. We love it, but it doesn't have a flashlight. And every biker should have a flashlight on board, not only for mechanical emergencies, but medical emergencies, or just, who knows, anything, repairs on the side of the road, whether it's dark or day, even in the day, you're looking up inside under your tank and stuff, you can't see. You need a light. We found a very versatile light. It is affordable, number one. It is durable. These are the requirements that I had. Very durable. It has to be rechargeable. It has to be compact. It had to meet it has to be very fucking bright. That was huge for me.
Is that an official?
It is.
Measurement of light?
It is. Fucking. And it has to be something that I would recommend. Small. So it basically what I do with this flashlight, guys, and I encourage you to do the same, is you take this flashlight, it's ready to go. I would even encourage you to get a couple of them because you can put them in your truck, your car. They're a great everyday carry light too. But it is the biker LED flashlight available now in the law-abiding biker store. We are moving them so fast. We're having troubles with stock, guys. We're stocking them as quick as we can. So I'd get over there and get one at a price point of $21 right now at the time of this podcast. But you're thinking, oh, it's only $21. It's got to be cheap. It's not. We did a lot of research sourcing a flashlight. So this is the biker LED flashlight. Now,
And we're buying them in bulk, which helps us get the price down so we can
Right.
pass that along to the bikers out there.
Yep, very true. And so the Biker LED flashlight, it is from Superfire. Do not try to cross-reference us online. If you do, you're going to get burned. There are knockoffs online. Also, the model we have, you're not going to find probably. It's an S model. So if you see it in the video, I'm going to put out a video on it on the YouTube channel if you want to go see this thing. I just put out a short on Instagram today, on Facebook. If you want to see it, they're just a minute and a half short. It'll tell you all about it. Follow us over on Instagram at Law Abiding Biker. A lot of stuff going on over there. That's going to be out long before the YouTube video. It's out as of today. With that said, this is made of aircraft grade aluminum. There is no plastic on this thing as far as the body and the caps and all that. So it's very durable. It's got to be durable. You guys know me. I break stuff. Lurch knows I am hard on gear. Hard on film gear, hard on motorcycle gear. So aircraft grade aluminum. It holds an IP43 rating, which means if it's raining out, don't take it scuba diving, but if it's raining out and things like that and you're working on your bike, you're going to be fine. It's not going to ruin it. It is LED, 1000 lumens. This thing cuts through the dark with ease. It is freaking amazing. I still can't believe how bright it is. You'll see when the video comes out on YouTube. You'll see a little bit on the Instagram reel that I did or YouTube short. I got to put out the YouTube short. I forgot. That's the only place I didn't put that. I need to do that. Let me write that down. YouTube short. With that said, also, I'm just writing that down. YouTube short. It's 1000 lumens, a rechargeable battery, 3400 milliamp. It comes with everything you need. It's got a magnetic end cap, so you can stick it to your crash bar, stick it to your tank. It has a swivel 360 head. It's a 90-degree flashlight, so the light sits out 90 degrees. It has a 360 swivel head, and even more. You can keep going around. It has a metal clip on it, so you can clip it to your shirt pocket, your billy, your hat, whatever, and then you can adjust that swivel head to where you need it. Also, it comes with that clip is a second purpose. It comes with a stretchy adjustable headband and a plastic plate that you clip the light into, so now it becomes a headlamp. And again, with that swivel head at the 90, you can adjust it down. You know how a headlamp you want to turn down a little bit a lot? It has that, or you can turn it up. It's completely up to you. Comes with all that. Comes with a USB Type A to C charger to recharge that thing. They say 5 hours runtime on a full battery at normal mode. It has multiple different modes. It has bright, medium, low, SOS. It has strobe, and then double click the top button and you get a ultra bright turbo mode. It is just an amazing light, and it's going to be super durable, super compact. It rolls up in that travel toolkit. Really nice. You're always going to be prepared for any type of emergency, whether it's mechanical or medical or anything like that. Also, with that said, I would also make 25, not only the year to be tools, but also get our beloved Law Abiding Biker branded first aid kit. You'll understand it's made for bikers. Go over to the store, check it out. Our videos and overview of anything we do is always embedded at the bottom of our listings. A lot of times it's very detailed tutorials or walkthroughs. Over at the Law Abiding Biker store, we got your back. So you have a flashlight, a first aid kit, and a toolkit. You're pretty much ready to go cross country, because anything else you can get underwear or shirts or things like that along the way if you forget those. But these things I would have on board. Make it a point here in 2025. And of course, you're supporting a bootstrap company of bikers, just trying to help as many bikers as we can worldwide. We appreciate every customer. We will take care of you. If you have any questions, hit up the contact form. Lurch and Oscar are over there ready to answer your questions. But we are keeping this stuff in stock. But I'm telling you, the flashlight, that's a hot seller. Can you believe, guys, you can get that for $21, and it's not like some piece of junk. We got these things in our hands, tested them before we ever decided to put them in the store. We will try to keep them in stock. Remember, if we are out of stock, anything in the store, guys, we do have a notification box over to the right. If it's out of stock, you'll see it pop up to the right side of your screen, whether it's mobile or desktop. You can hit it. You can enter your phone number to get a text. You can enter an email, both, whatever you want. And as soon as Lurch punches the button that they're back in stock, you will be the first to be notified with a direct link to punch through and purchase one of these guys. But I say it's getting so popular, guys are getting multiples of them. I'm going to put one in my truck, one on my bike. It's just a $21. Okay, I still can't believe we can keep it at that price point. But like Lurch mentioned, we are able to get these things in bulk and then pass the savings because we can buy in bulk and pass the savings on to you guys. Anything else on that flashlight, Lurch, as he gets ready to sneeze?
I was just about to sneeze. Yeah, I've been fighting it. No, it's a great flashlight. I don't know about you, but I have several flashlights.
I'm a geek when it comes to flashlights.
I think most guys kind of are, knives, flashlights. You got to have everything be prepared. But this is a good one. It is super bright. You blinded me with it the other day when we were testing it. So, and I like the 90-degree head. That's ideal.
It is
ideal. You can
ideal.
lay it down. You can move it. You
Magnetize it.
It's a great working flashlight, and you should have, like you said, you should have one in your bike, in your truck, in your car,
shop.
maybe your shop, and one next to your bed.
Magnetize it to your side of your toolbox, so it's always just magnetized right there, ready for you to pull off and go. We really love it, guys, and we're actually placing another order. We already have multiples coming. We realize we're like, oh crap, these things are going to be
several hundred coming.
Hot seller, yeah. So with that said, grab yourself a biker LED flashlight, available exclusively. Don't watch out for the knockoffs, guys. If you're getting it from the law-abiding biker store, you can assure that it will be the correct model. We're carrying the S model of this thing because it has all the bells and whistles. You'll find online they won't really specify whether it's an S model or not, and you're going to get jacked. You're not going to get the right one. You're going to pay the same. We have the cheapest prices everywhere online for this light because, again, we're buying in bulk and passing that savings on to you. Want to ride longer? Are you tired of a sore and achy ass? Fix it with a high-quality butt buffer seat cushion. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our full line of butt buffer seat cushions. Make 2025 the year that you say goodbye to ass pain when you're riding. Get a butt buffer, guys. They are amazing. Once you get one, you'll understand why. It's hard to even put in words, but you need one. Hey, Bikeaholics, 03D has a wide variety of innovative products for your Harley-Davidson and a brand new line for the all-new Honda Goldwing named Gold Strike.
I like gold.
Top quality, affordable chrome lighting and comfort products. Zero Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our full line of 03D products. Do it. Do it, Lurch. Do it.
I've already done it.
Do it.
I've got one.
We got us a freaking episode to do here, guys. And we're on a time constraint, so we got to roll. Welcome back, you freaking bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority, the Big MM, also known as the
99%.
Large and in charge of the motorcycle scene more than any time in history. By being here, by listening, you're part of what we call the hashtag
Biker Revolution.
We have just one question. What are you waiting for, bikeaholics? Mount up.
And let us take you on another wild ass ride.
Ryan Urlacher here, your host of the Law-Abiding Biker podcast and your
high-tech redneck.
All right, in today's episode, just fresh back, from two places. First, from Las Vegas to test ride and review the 2025 Indian motorcycles, 112 PowerPlus ride and review. I spent multiple days down there with these bikes, and I put out a YouTube video. Make sure you go watch the YouTube video. Subscribe while you're over there, guys. It's a free way that takes you literally 2 seconds that you can show your support for Law-Abiding Biker Media. It doesn't cost anything. We appreciate you subscribing to the channel if you're consuming our videos. It really, really does help us in the back end and in different ways online as far as search and all that kind of stuff, guys. So please take a moment if you haven't done that. If you appreciate our videos and what we're doing to help the biker community, get over there and subscribe. But check out the video. But of course, in long form here on the podcast, I tend to reveal more than I have time to reveal in those videos because you can't make them too long. It's already like a 30-minute video or something, but it got a ton of views. And if you're at all interested, at least, taking a time to look at the Indians, at least educate yourself on what's available in the market between Harley and Indian, I strongly encourage it because if you never open your eyes to any other possibilities, you're doing yourself a disservice. Just see. And then you can make a determine on, what brand of motorcycle you want to buy. But they're doing some amazing stuff over there. We're going to break it down in this video. But do we have a email or voicemail? We're actually going to skip that in the interest of time. Okay. So we'll have to move that. Let's, we love our sponsors up front that we've already mentioned, but these folks are also a reason we're coming to you after 14 years strong and no indication of slowing down here. These are some of our newest patron members that we want to thank.
We'd like to thank Michael Ritchie of Kokomo, Indiana, top tier. Gary Strainer of Tampa, Florida, also top tier. And Jorge Luna of Anaka, Minnesota.
Very simple to become a member these days. You simply sign up for a monthly subscription and you choose the level of benefits that you want to receive. And there are a plethora of benefits, such as t-shirts and stickers. You get access to the private Facebook group, which is a troll-free zone, nothing but bikers helping and connecting with other bikers in there. You get podcasts early, live video broadcasts, and chat access. premium videos, of course, and access to those ride meetup events. Don't forget about your year-round 10% off patron discount code, anything in the Law Abiding Biker store at all times. That is a great savings over there, guys. And we'd like to get you signed up. It's over at lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. That's /Patreon. We'd love to have you a member here in 2025 and get you access to all those benefits. All right, guys, don't forget the official sanctioned Law Abiding Biker Meetup and Ride event is going to be around the greater Banff, Canada area this year. It will be on July 21st, 2025. We're going to do a sanctioned ride. We're going to have a meetup location, an event. We're going to, usually we cater a dinner. It's a wonderful time. So here's the deal. If you want to get signed up, I would do it lickety split. Crunch time, guys. It's over at Law. You can't go unless you sign up and you've been vetted and you're invited, because you won't get any of the information. Over at lawabidingbiker.com/2025 meetup. All one word, no dashes. That's lawabidingbiker.com/2025 meetup. You can't sign up in the Facebook group. You can't tell us you're coming. You can't email us. It doesn't work that way. You have to go over there. You have to sign some stuff. That is the only way you'll be allowed at this event. So get over there. The deadline to sign up is April 15th, 2025. Again, cutoff April 15th, 2025. And we will not allow anybody to sign up. The form will be taken down. We just can't, guys. There's too much logistics involved. There's too much stuff we have to do. We want to make it a great event. And the only way we can make it a great event is to be organized, to know who's coming, who's vetted, who's been approved, who, has been a patron member for multiple months. You have to be a patron member by April 1st. 2025. We need to know that you're committed as a patron member, not just sign up last minute. So number one, get signed up as a patron member no later than April 1st, 2025. And we do check that stuff on the signups. And then the cutoff for the actual sign up is April 15th, 2025. It is for mid-level tier and top tier only. It's not for base tier patron members. You got to be mid-level or above for the sanctioned events. And because, we want to give back. We want to give you guys back. We appreciate all your support, and there are different benefits for different tiers, and this is reserved for mid-level and above. Just understand, once you get signed up and everything, you will get emails, and then shortly after deadline, you'll be getting an email coming because you'll be on our email list. Part of signing up is Lurch is making sure you're getting on our email subscriber list, and he's confirming that you're on there, because it's very important, because that is how we will communicate with you, knowing that you are on that list as you subscribe. And if you're not, we're going to get a hold of you and say, hey, you need to get on that list. Here's a link. And then we will put out information from there. And a couple days before the event, we'll also do a follow-up email, or it's usually a day before, exactly the time, meet location, all that. That's just for security reasons. We want to keep this a closed event. We want it to be for only mid-level and above patron members. We want it to be special. So with that said, get over there and get signed up. Just so you know, if you're like, I'm not sure about time or whatever, here's the deal. July 21st, 2025. You can get there the night before. You can get there the morning of. You can get a hotel the night before. It's up to you on the 20th. It's just going to be in the greater Banff, Canada area. You could even stay in Calgary. It's not that far away. Find yourself a hotel. We usually meet around 10 a.m. somewhere in the greater Banff area. You'll have time to ride there. You'll get the full details, but I'm just trying to get you set up so you can at least decide, oh yeah, I can get a hotel room and all this the night before. And then we usually meet up 10, 11. We have an hour meet and greet, and then we go on a ride, which is usually a couple hours. 3 hours, 2 hours, whatever. It's not very long. It's a nice little ride we'll go on, and then we'll end up at a location where the dinner meetup, networking event will be. And then we're usually done no later than 6 p.m. because the Law Abiding Biker crew is going to be on a greater 12-day trip, and it's a club trip. And for Sworn Few Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club, and we've got other things to do. This is just one of our events and stops along the way. So we have to bust because we got miles to lay and things to do. So basically 10 to 6. And then you can bust out that night after the event, or you can stay at a hotel somewhere. And a lot of the patron members, after we leave, they find another location to meet up and have drinks and party and do whatever else and meet each other and be able to spend more time and connect. So, just be aware of that. And you can ask more, in the private Facebook group when you're in there. You can ask, hey, who's all going to the, event up in Canada? And hey, I want to meet everybody after the official event closes. I'm going to have a, VRBO and everybody can come over and we're going to have a fire and marshmallows and whiskey and
marshmallows.
Whatnot. Yeah. Whiskeys.
Now you got me at whiskey.
Yeah. I got you at
Marshmallow,
whiskey.
maybe not so much, but whiskey, yes.
So it's very, very crunch time, guys, to get signed up for that. This podcast is going to go out soon, and it's got to go out, obviously, Lurch, before this one because the deadline's coming so that people can get signed up as a member and the cutoff. So there you go, guys. All right. With that said, I think we should dive into our main topic here. And we're on a time crunch, but we'll try to keep this fairly succinct, but I do have some stuff to talk about. So we all know, Lurch, jump in whenever you want. Okay. Lurch didn't go to this. When I go to these events, it's pretty much just myself nowadays. It won't always hold true, but that's just the way these companies work. They only want to pay for one person to come. And I would like to have another film guy. It's very, I've said it in the past, it's very, your head's spinning, and I'm better at it, but it's pretty stressful when you're a one-man camera guy trying to get everything and also review the bikes, and they're just, you don't know whether you're coming or going. So there's a bit of stress and anxiety to it, but I am getting better at it over the years. But I would love to have a film guy and another guy to help me offload footage and do all the things that normal media gets to do that YouTubers don't. We just come down and get what you can. But I appreciate the opportunities. I'm not certainly bad talking Indian or Harley for that. It's just, obviously, they've got a budget and they don't want to pay for two people. They want to pay for one. And so it is what it is. So
yeah, they've got their film crews and stuff down there and they're taking nice shots of you. But the problem is it takes them some time to get it to you. And it may not be in the style that you like. And I just don't, they're getting much better with using YouTube influencers, but I don't think they 100% really realize what you need. And you don't necessarily need a film crew. You would rather have another guy next to you with the GoPro and working together and, and doing things your way, but still a cool event. And this is a first opportunity for Indian.
Yeah. True. We had opportunities before in the form of sending us a pursuit for over a year, but this is the first time. First media where they press release, where they invited me down. And I was very stoked about that. I'm trying to bring content to you guys. We are an open channel. Although I ride a Harley, I don't have an Indian in the garage. That's just because that's what I ride right now. That's what I have access to. I've got a Husqvarna, KLR. We love Indian. We love metric bikes. We love Harleys. We're open to everything. I can't afford to own every bike, guys, but I so appreciate to get this information in front of you guys. So thank you, Indian, for having me down. It sounds like I got the email. I breezed over it. They want to get us another bike long term.
They want to get a PowerPlus model in your hands.
Yes. So we'll be talking to them. Hopefully we'll have more of that on the channel. Again, I'm not locked into one thing, guys. That's not what I do on this channel. I'll review. If Honda invited me to review a Goldwing, I'm there. If BMW invited me to, I'm there. We are an open channel. We want to bring all the information to you guys. You can make the decision. I just try to bring good information to you. You make the decision on what brand that's going to fit your needs and work for you best. Right after this Vegas trip, which we'll have another episode, I flew to Austin and we spent days in Austin, and Lurch came down just for a little. We worked and we had some R&R. And also I had to get this video out because then in Austin, 5 days later, I was with Harley for 4 days testing the new Cruiser 6 Cruiser lineup. So that podcast is coming. We'll talk about our time in Austin. We'll talk about Harley. That Cruiser models, I reviewed 6 of them. That's coming. This is strictly an episode all about Indian. So with that said, one of the biggest things upgraded with this models that they wanted to showcase was the 112 cubic inch PowerPlus motor. And they also had some really cool new rider assist technologies, which I'm stoked about, and we will break that down. Some refined aerodynamics also. Really Indian, taking their motorcycles to the next level. Some good upgrades here in 2025. So I'm going to cover, some of the engine performance, the ride quality, handling technology, and new safety features introduced in the 112 PowerPlus engine lineup. All right, so
I will say this too. If you get the opportunity, go back to LAB-394 and you can listen to our podcast where we just did our thoughts on the virtual event.
Yes, and we did a video on that too, right? On YouTube. Yep. So that's good. Yeah. We did a podcast and we did a talking head video. Me and Lurch were at a table in the store with the Pursuit behind us. Yeah. So either or, get both. So Indian obviously is built up on its 108 liquid cooled PowerPlus engine, which the Pursuit I had for a year had that. And that video is on YouTube too. That video blew up too. So check out that. And they upgraded it to this 112 cubic inch V twin that delivers, guys. So let's why don't you give a few of the specs rundown on it, and then I can talk more about the rideability.
It's got 126 horsepower at 5,500 RPMs. It's running 133 foot-pounds of torque at 3,600 RPM. It is a 60-degree V-twin configuration with overhead cams, 4 valves per cylinder, Jesus Christ, 4 valves per cylinder, not salves per cylinder, and dual throttle bodies.
All right. And so I'll say compared to the 2023 Indian Pursuit Dark Horse I tested, which had that 108 CI, guys, over the top, I'll just say, or just kind of an overview. The 2025 PowerPlus engine, this 112, it definitely offers more power, better low-end torque. And, really what guys want to know is we rattle a lot of numbers, and that's all good on paper, but, how does that translate to real-world performance, which is why I'm so thankful to companies like Indian and Harley-Davidson for inviting me to these events, because we can read all day on paper, but what does that mean for like everyday riding? And what does that mean for touring? And so I get my hands on these bikes. Now, I've always told you guys when I do these reviews, you feel like you've been ridden hard and put up wet. Like you get done with these events and your head's spinning and you've got video footage and you tried to cover everything that you needed to cover, plus things change while you're like, I thought this, but this. And it's a really quick review. I got 1 day with these bikes. Okay. Harleys I got 2 days with, but there were 6 models, so I only got a little bit of time with each. With that said, the disclaimer is when I'm trying to film and trying to review, plus I'm trying to talk to other influencers, I'm trying to talk to Indian reps, I'm reviewing, it's really an overview. To really review a bike, you need time with it, which is why I'm so appreciative of Indian looking at sending me another bike, because we can really get a lot more detail. I can do it on my time, on my terms, the shots I want to get, the things I want to say without having to rush it so much. So these reviews, when I get invited to these press events, I think everybody logically realizes that I had limited time. I still learn a lot, and I made it to give you guys a lot, but just be aware of that. It was a day. And when you're talking a day, there's a lot of stops. There's a lot of Indian film people trying to film you, and you're in lines waiting to go so they can film you. So actual time riding the bike is, 3-4 hours. The rest is sitting in lines waiting to get shots and lunch and all that kind of stuff. So, but I do learn a lot, and you can do a lot. More than you think in that time on testing these. It's more than a test ride. Most dealerships don't let you take it for that long. So let's talk about this. I will say, as soon as you get on this bike, they've done a really good job balancing it. It feels incredibly well balanced and light when you get on it for such a heavy bike. So really good job on that. Whether that's the Challenger now, we went over let's go over which bikes, Lurch, if you can find that in the article, and we're doing articles on all this on the website too, guys. If you're a reader, the video's at the bottom, but we break down and you can read all this too. And Lurch will link to the article in the podcast show notes, but, do you want to go down? Lurch, did you find that?
Yeah, I'll have to look at another article, but I'll catch it in just a second. So
off the top of my head, just to reaffirm with you guys, the Chieftain, and the Chieftain is your Batwing fairing. All right. So, and your Roadmaster, your Chieftain is basically if you're Harley Indian, I'm not trying to compare it to Harley, just take it for what it's worth, because a lot of people may be new to Indian. Your Chieftain is basically your street glide. Your Roadmaster is your full ultra touring. It's a Batwing fairing too, but it's got your bags and it's ready for full touring. And then you've got your Challenger, which is the shark nose fairing, similar to a Road Glide, if you want to do a direct comparison. And then you've got your Pursuit, which is shark nose fairing, but it's got the full bags, full touring. It'd be like your Harley Road Glide Limited. So those 4 bikes got it for sure. And I knew all this stuff, but I had to purge it when I went to Indian. So apparently Lurch is having troubles.
Well, yeah, it's not.
Just go to our old article on when we did the Talking Head. All right. And so I was correct. Look at that. What a great memory. It was those 4 bikes that got it. All right. And so moving down, I will say once in the saddle, I definitely say, this motor, guys, you have to understand it's a higher revving motor. All right. It's a 60 degree, like Lurch said, V-twin, liquid cooled, more modern. Well, it's good. It's balanced well. Like I say, the overall bike, the way it sits, I definitely noticed as I was riding, you just got to understand the torque kicks in right around the 3,600 RPM range. This thing will throw you back in the seat. It's legit. Okay. It's smooth running, but again, you'll definitely note that higher revving. A lot of people get mad when I say it's more of a metric feel. It is. It's not your traditional 45 degree air cooled V-twin motor. It is feels. Do not expect it to feel like, your older 45 degree air cooleds, like the Thunderstroke. It's just your traditional older Harleys. It's just not going to feel like that, guys. It's a revier, peppier, different type feel, completely different. It thrives in the higher RPM range. All right. It delivers, I'll say, a sporty, very performance driven, if you will, feel. At 5,500 RPM, the bike produces 126 horsepower. So again, to get in the power band and where everything sits in this motor, you're up at 5,500 RPM, very much higher. Your traditional, Thunderstroke, if you will, 45 degree air cooled, and even the Harley air cooled 45 degree V-twins, the torque's there really immediately because it's a torqueier lower end motor, and your power bend is going to also sit at a lower RPM. So the bike's just going to, that's why a lot of guys like not even air cooled, you can even have a 45 degree twin liquid cooled because they have those now. Harley's doing that too. And that motor it's just going to be a more touring feel, if you will, a traditional laid back. You don't have to keep it way wound up. It's just kick back, ride. The torque's there when you need it. The power band's lower to pass. But if you keep these bikes running at a higher RPM, you can run them at a lower RPM, but you'll feel that they're not that happy. It's not going to hurt them. It's just, if you were to run it in a higher gear and down at 2,000 and you're rolling that throttle, it's not going to be there. You're going to be waiting. So you shift down a gear and you're running at a higher RPM. So when you do need the power, it's there. That's just something you have to learn with these type of motors. So, they do tout the most powerful V-twin touring motors available, the 112 Power Plus, guys. And that's debatable. That's their statement, because it depends on the motor and it depends on where your torque is and where your horsepower is. And but there you go. So like I say, if you prefer the more traditional low-end torque experience, Indian still does offer the Thunderstroke air-cooled engine on select models. And so this really gives the buyer choice, obviously, between a classic American cruising or a high-performance touring. Excuse me. I'm not here to tell you one way or another, guys. I just want you to be aware of the differences, because I don't want a guy to go, I want the latest, greatest, and go, oh, I really wanted a more kicked back feel. Well, decide what you want. Can you tour? Of course. It's a touring bike. It's made for long distance cruising. It's comfortable. It's balanced well. It's a peppy engine. Again, it's just what you're going to be using it for, and if you're going to do, the twisties and all that kind of stuff, man, this Power Plus is freaking amazing. Let me tell you, when that power band kicks in, you'll be like, oh, that's where it is. And it will just set you back in the seat. So really well done. I will say right now, when I did my Pursuit review, and Lurch noticed it too. We've talked about it in the past. You're always going to get an honest review on this channel. You guys know that. I always say this disclaimer. Yes, they invite me to the events. These events cost me more than it does. I do it because I want to get it on the channel, and I know it's good information for you guys. Yeah, they fly me. They gave me some meals, but still, like this, I still had a lot of out-of-pocket expenses and my time, guys. I got to produce a video. I got to get the whole time. I'm not doing videos that actually make the business a fair amount of money. So time-wise and hour-wise, but I'm so appreciative and I don't want to stop. It's part of this channel. And it's so valuable. And so I don't say that. What I'm saying is that's why the reviews, I'm not getting paid or anything like that, guys. I appreciate them getting me down there and feeding me in a hotel room. But at the end of the day, they never tell me what I can and can't say. No company does, or I simply wouldn't do these reviews. That'd be good way to lose the trust of an audience. And I will not do that. So one of the complaints we had with the Pursuit, I freely said it, was heat especially on the right inner side of the leg. It was substantial. And I will say it's one of the things I went down there saying, I hope they fix that. I hope they listen and I hope they fix that. Well, I'm happy to report this bike that I rode, the bikes I rode didn't have lowers. I didn't ride the Roadmaster and I didn't ride the Pursuit. I rode the Challenger and I rode the Chieftain. So no lowers, but still, even at stops, I stopped. We were waiting to get into the national park, Valley of Fire down there, and in Nevada. And I put my foot up there, and I just wanted to see, like, is it there? And it wasn't.
Must have found a way to dissipate that heat better.
Yeah,
with the new motor.
Wish they knew exactly what they did, or maybe they just moved the exhaust a little bit. I wasn't able to determine. The catalytic converter maybe a little bit, but I will tell you, it was really, really good. So well done, Indian, on fixing that. All right. Because that was a big complaint. And any Indian rider that was honest, that wasn't just brand loyal and just blind, and nothing's wrong with Indian. They're perfect bikes. It wasn't true. And everybody else in the Indian forums would tell you, yes, it is a problem. And guys would even tell you fixes, like do this, get different exhaust. It's because of this. And everybody was working around that. So good job, Indian. All right. So let's talk about suspension. This is cool. 43 millimeter inverted fork, standard, guys. Nice. That's huge. Yeah. Knocked it out of the park. 5.1 inches of travel, offering more rigidity and precision than conventional forks, guys. Inverted are just better all the way around, especially if you're an aggressive rider. I ride more aggressively in the corners. I really dive the front end going in, some trail braking depending on the corner, and you'll feel immediately the performance benefits of inverted compared to conventional forks. And again, standard on these touring models. You get less flex under braking, more precise steering feedback, better handling in aggressive riding situations. And the dive is so nice. They felt really nice for stock forks, inverted, unbelievable. Well done, Indian, on that. And again, standard, you're not getting that standard on competitors, guys. You have to, I think at Harley, you have to go a CVO to get that right now. So I know Harley is watching that, and Indian has some things that Harley doesn't, and Harley has some things that Indian does. And I don't want to make this a comparison, guys. It's just sometimes it puts it in perspective for you. We already did that video we did, Talking Head in the Store, is a Indian versus Harley kind of deal, what's best in 2025. And we really just break down what Indian has to offer that Harley doesn't, what Harley has to offer that Indian doesn't, and then you can make the decision there, guys. All right. So, Lurch, do you want to talk about some of the new Ciro stuff? Because you added some listings to the store and stuff like that. Some of our, for 24 and newer Harley models, right?
Yeah, 23 and a half CVOs and then 24 newer Road Glide and Street Glide. They're finally coming out. We've been waiting. We knew Ciro was going to do some cool stuff. They had to figure out how to crack the ACM and get hooked up. So they've got two options now. You've got a standard option. You hook to your battery, and then it's got connections for the lighting, and you can either get a standard run turn brake setup, or you can get the Light Strike Commander, which that's what I recommend, because then you can do all the fun animations and whatnot with your lights. So that's the way they're connecting to the bike. And right now they've got a vent light for both the Street Glide and Road Glide. It goes up inside the vent, fairing vent. It's what they call ghost technology, so it's very inconspicuous. You don't even notice the thing when it's off, but when it's on, it has a white light on that vent light. It's got turn signals left and right, or if you've got the Light Strike Commander, it has animations. Allegedly, because we don't know yet, we're waiting on them. These are all brand new.
And the Commander hooks to your app via Bluetooth.
Yep.
And then you can basically do all kinds of stuff, animations.
So you can do like a Knight Rider thing or something like that. So it's going to be fun.
I'm doing Knight Rider, bro.
They're sending some for us, and so we'll be able to play with it and do all the different animations. And after we play with those, we'll get out even more information.
Are we doing videos on it?
Yep,
right?
Yep. Oh, absolutely. In addition to that, they've got what they call the Goatee light. And it is a light bar that'll go underneath the headlamp on the Batwing fairings. It replaces the black plastic insert, if you will, that's underneath your headlight. You can get that in black or chrome. Adds quite a bit of light. And they also have a lighted license plate frame available in black or chrome. Kind of clean up that back end. That's one area that I think that there was a lot of opportunity to improve the look of the bike. So I'm excited about that. Get rid of that stock big old thing off there. And then they've got one called the Quill lights, which are a light that accents it. It's an adhesive light that hooks onto the front of the Batwing fairing and just adds some style to it. So keep an eye out for all that new stuff. Hopefully
are these all listed in the Law Abiding Biker Store?
They are listed as we speak, but there is no stock.
No stock.
So right now it shows out of stock. Once we have stock, you'll be able to buy them.
But what I would do, guys, if you're interested in that stuff, I'm putting all the stuff on my bike, is get over to the Law Abiding Biker Store, and again, to the right side of your screen, mobile or desktop, you'll see a box, out of stock notification. You can put your email, your phone number, so the instant that those are in stock, because it is going to be limited stock even when we get them at first, because they're going to be so hot. So you might want to be notified about that. All right, there you go. lawabidingbiker.com/store, guys. And get over there. The products are listed. Lurch just did that, so I was excited to talk about those things. All right, so getting back into Indian, guys, and so brakes. All right, they also nailed it on brakes, guys. I was excited about this. Dual 320 millimeter semi-floating rotors front, 298 millimeter floating rotor rear. Listen to this. Stock Brembo radial mounted calipers, not axial mounted, guys. Stock radial mounted are by far superior in performance. Radial mounted brakes provide better rigidity and performance compared to standard axial mounted, making this a high performance touring machine, guys. When you feel, again, I say this, a lot of riders would not notice the difference because they don't brake hard enough and they don't corner hard enough to really feel the difference in braking. If you're just a touring guy and you really just tootle around corners and you go straight and you brake where you need to, in an emergency situation, they would stop you better, but you wouldn't notice. When you ride a little bit harder and you're pushing corners and you're trail braking and you're doing all kinds of different things, really diving that front end coming into a corner, you will very much notice the difference with radial mounted. They are amazing. The front end of this bike felt really good with the inverted front forks and those brakes in combo. Again, stock, guys, coming with it. It's not an add-on. It's not an upgrade. That is coming on them. It's not a dark horse. There you go. Some great stuff Indian did with the front end of this bike. With that said, they also retooled the design, or redesigned, I should say, the Batwing fairing for the Chieftain and the Roadmaster. They did not do the shark nose. It remained the same. So your Pursuit and your Challenger stayed the same. But I will say, with that, they did a bunch of wind testing. And so with the forks, with the brakes, with the new fairing, that is a solid front end. And I pushed the shit out of that thing. I took it as fast as it would go at one point. So multiple times. All right. That's fast. And I took some pretty good sweepers, corners, and some really tight corners. And man, I was really impressed with the front end of this bike. So again, you get that out the door, and well done with the front end of that bike. I will say the look of that new Batwing fairing, Indian nailed it. I really, really like the design changes that they did. Just the lines and how they did it. It looks really good. A really, really decent looking front end Batwing fairing to that bike. All right, let's move into, why don't you, do you want to just handle this? Because it's pretty much specs, and then I'll kind of talk a little bit about it, but let's go through the rider. This was huge. Rider assist features, new innovations for 2025. I will say it gets a little confusing in their press release up front. They say they introduced some of the most advanced rider assist features on an American-made V-twin. These include, which is true, a few of them they should have had a while ago, and they didn't.
Right.
And now they do. They're catching up to Harley there, but then in a couple of them, they surpassed and added that Harley doesn't have. So there's a give and take there.
Yeah, so we'll kind of start with what is more common to the market and what Harley has had for a while. So standard features.
With that said, real quick, what you're about to say is new to Indian.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So Harley's had this stuff for a while. So like I said, common to the market, Harley's had it. And then I'll get into the last couple, which are the ones that are new and innovative, right? These are the ones they kind of like
new to the American-made V-twin market, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, like you said, they kind of intermingled them all and made you think that it was all brand new. Nobody's ever done it before. But what they've added: ABS, 6-axis IMU, lean angle detection with traction control and ABS, and drag torque control to prevent rear wheel lockup on aggressive downshifts. Again, Harley's already had all this stuff. They've added hill hold braking and electronically linked braking. I did not know that Indian didn't have linked braking.
I know.
So I'm glad they do now, but it's something that's been around a while for Harley.
And explain that for new listeners that don't know what these are.
Okay. So the drag torque control is if you downshift fast, it will not allow your tire to not necessarily lock up, but spin too slow, so you end up dragging it, right? If you downshift hard, it will do a version of a skid. Yes, you're going faster than the wheel can go, so that rear tire will slide. If you're Ryan and you like doing that kind of stuff, then it's unfortunate that's on there. But for most of us, it's a really good feature because if you downshift too hard, it'll keep you from locking up. The lean angle detection helps you use ABS while you're in corners, so it's cornering ABS. Then that's part of that 6-axis IMU. So now you've got ABS, not only straight line, but you got cornering as well. And then they also have hilled control.
And I want to say Indian had ABS before, just not cornering in the 6-axis IMU. Mm-hmm. So
thank you for cleaning that up. And a couple other things they add. One is hill control. Hill hold control is what they call it. And I think Harley calls it something similar. But
vehicle hold control.
You can press the brake and hold it down, and it will lock your brakes, and it'll keep your bike from rolling backwards when you're on a hill.
And then as soon as you hit the throttle,
it'll come off.
Comes out or let the clutch out, yeah.
Yep. And then I already talked about the linked braking, but I'll explain it a little bit.
Just read what's there. It's perfect.
Yeah. It allows, if you apply just the front or the rear brake, the system automatically applies the other. So if you grab too much front, it's going to grab the appropriate rear. If you grab too much rear, it'll grab the appropriate front.
Nice.
So it's great for emergency situations. If you don't quite have the time to get, maybe you're covering your front brake and you're grabbing that and you're moving your foot to the rear brake, it'll help speed that process.
Most of the time it's when people go code black.
Yeah,
and they're not trained to do 70-30.
And we've seen it years ago, but you and I were riding over to Seattle, and we were just outside of Seattle on I-90. Traffic was backing up and came to a stop quick, and a guy in the left lane grabbed too much front, and we watched him. His front tire went right out from underneath him and hit the ground. Thank God nobody ran over him.
No shit.
But if he had this technology, he would have stayed upright. So a couple new things, though. This is cool. Blind spot detection, which a lot of us have in newer cars. A car comes up in your blind spot and either your seat will vibrate on the left or the right, or you get lights in your mirrors. Well, now Indian has this and warns riders with mirror-mounted yellow LED indicators when a vehicle is in their blind spot. Did you get a chance to test that out? How did it work?
It's in my video. It works flawlessly, just like a car.
Yeah, cool. And then they have rear collision warning. This alerts riders when a vehicle is falling too close and pulses the brake light to get the driver's attention.
And it also, in your ride command system in the dash, you can set how close you want that to be, because it also, in the ride command, it tells you, hey, there's a car, it's a little yellow. You'll see it in my video. Go watch the video on YouTube, guys, of my review, because I show all this. But it also tells you, hey, there's a car falling too close, and you can set it like how close you want it to come up in your ride command.
Okay.
Because if you don't want that banned, and you can turn those things off too, which is nice. If you don't like all those notifications, you're like, yeah, I don't want that on my screen all the time. These are wonderful. I applaud big time for Indian bringing it to the market. I always just look at pros and cons. I like it all. The only thing with the blind spot detection is aftermarket mirrors. You've got an issue now because there's wires that go up your bars and into those mirrors. And so you're kind of like, either you disconnect that, or you just have to run with stock mirrors all the time for the guys that like to change mirrors. It's just little things to think about.
Yeah, I got to imagine the aftermarket companies will probably provide something. Again, and I know Indian's a lot smaller in the market, and even in the aftermarket parts, but I got to think somebody will come up with something.
Yep.
Come on, Ciro, you listening?
Yeah, there you go. So with that said, one of the other things that you have to determine is look at my video. In order to achieve the rear collision warning, they had to put a fairly decent size radar unit, and it's a square box, and it sits on top of your rear brake light, and it's just a kind of a big black box. I will let you make the decision once you see it on whether that's aesthetically pleasing and whether that trade-off of seeing that is worth the safety features. I'm not here to tell you one way or another. Be aware to achieve that. That is what they did, and that's where they decided to place that. Aesthetically, it's big. Radars apparently, I just felt like maybe it could have been a little bit smaller and a little bit more subdued, but nonetheless, we're getting a huge safety. So if it saves your life, then who cares? So like I said, I'm really not making an opinion on it. Just, that would be my only thing is hopefully technology can make that a little bit smaller and a little bit more integrated on future models. That would be just a very minor nitpick on that. So, all right, let's move in to comfort, ergonomics, and ride quality. The 25 Chieftain PowerPlus offers a well-designed rider triangle. I felt it was really good. It's really comfortable. The stock bars, of course, these bikes are made for guys my size. They're made for 5'8" guys.
You average size people.
Us average size people. The rider triangle felt great. I was very comfortable in it. Of course, just like any bike, the stock seat ain't going to cut it. That would be the same for Harley. That's why you go over to the law-abiding biker store and you get hooked up with a Saddleman road sofa. Unbelievable touring seats, guys. And a butt buffer, of course, seat cushion on top of that. And you are going to, just ride like you own it for miles and miles. It's well padded though for a stock seat. It does have good lower back support. It's got a nice uprise in the rear. The floorboard seems spacious, positioned well, good leg placement. Remember, guys, Indian, if you're one of those guys I've talked about in the past, we're not going to beat a dead horse. If you are one of those guys that really likes an adjustable windscreen, if that's a big deal to you, certainly Indian offers that, then go grab it. It's still there. I've talked about in the past. It's fine. I appreciate the technology. I've had bikes with it before. I don't use it. And even on the Indian, when we're riding it, I forget it's there. I always just get a windshield that fits me. Because when I ride as a motorcycle police officer is in 110 degrees, it don't matter if your windshield's up or down, you're going to be fucking hot. Okay. Some guys, it cools you. Yeah. But then now you put it down and now you got a bunch of fucking head buffeting because now you're trained. Please don't beat me up. If you guys like that and that is like the bee's knees to you, then by all means, it is a great offering that Indian has for you. You are limited on windshields because of that technology. That's another little nitpick on that. But anyways, I could go down that. Just for me, I prefer just to get a windshield that's the right size. The up and down means nothing to me. If you get the right windshield, you'll be stoked. You got vents and different things. And again, when it's hot, it's hot. And when it's cold, you're going to have your windshield up anyway. So I want the right windshield. It's a weird thing. But boy, let me tell you, the guys that like those, they get really mad at me for saying that I don't like them, that I could care less whether it had it or not. But they get mad at me.
I agree with you. It's a nice feature, but to me, it's a little gimmicky.
Yeah.
I also, when I rode that bike, I played with it.
Right. And then you put it to the height where you don't have head buffeting and you left it.
Yeah. Because you get it too high and then I'm looking through it and now I've got a vent in the bottom that's exposed, so rain and bugs are going to come through that vent. If I go all the way down to get more air. I got
Right.
head buffeting, so I adjusted it to where it should be, and I left it.
And left it right.
So that's our 2 cents. But yes, I agree that it is a neat option.
Yes. And so there are guys that absolutely live and die by that adjustable windshield, and then there's the bike for you. All right. So let's technology and infotainment, the ride command system. Like I said, I've given this bike a lot of props. The front end, the forks, all that. The brakes, they did a phenomenal job. It's a great bike, but you'll always get an honest review here. This is what I would say, technology and infotainment. They are falling behind here. They really, I hope in next year, they got to upgrade their infotainment system. The 7-inch ride command system remains largely unchanged from previous Indian models. They've had it for many years. It came out after the boombox that came out on the Harley. Both those companies had huge problems with these in-dash systems. They're buggy. They're horrible. The ride command, any honest Indian rider will tell you, because we know them and they tell us that's not brand loyal. And it's like, I love Indian and I have one, but here's what could be changed. The ride command system is it. It is glitchy. It is buggy. We had it on the Pursuit, a lot of bugs, and as bad as the Harley boombox system. It just is what it is. That's the truth, guys. That hasn't changed. It only has Apple CarPlay, no Android Auto. I know you Android fanboys will not like that. You do have ride modes, of course, on this, which is great. Rain, standard, sport. They work really good on Indian. That's baked in there. You can change that around. Bluetooth connectivity. With all that said, glitchy. We had a lot of issues with it. So while it's somewhat functional, the system could, in my opinion, use an update. It needs to have an update. Given this is a premium bike, it's got a premium price. It's very close to the Harley prices. They're kind of neck and neck. Me and Lurch go over that in our video. Harley's got the fully integrated digital dash system now, and Indians looking at that going, and just like Harley's looking at them going, we should probably do radial brakes mounted. We should probably look at inverted. These companies look at each other and going, what are they offering that we're not, and what are we offering that they're not? They really, Indian to keep in the game, needs to have that fully. And some guys go, I don't want a fully integrated dash. Well, you're getting it. Okay. That's the future. You can keep your 1992 Harley, or whatever, or even, I'm teasing, but like 14, it's gone, guys. It's just the cars are doing it now. My whole Ford F-150 it's all digital, guys. So you can fight and stomp and cry, but it's coming. And for Indian to compete in that area, they're going to need to upgrade that. And you guarantee that they are working engineers behind the scenes, and they just didn't get it out this year because they have to offer that. So, and we just need to get rid of that ride command. It can't be updated anymore. It's just buggy, and they just need to be away with it like Harley did with the boombox and move on to a better, faster processor, more smoother interface. That would be my huge, welcome upgrade that I would give feedback to Indian on that. I know they're working on it. I guarantee they're working on it. So let's do this, and I'll give my final thoughts on this. All right.
Ride longer and treat your ass with some respect already. Get hooked up with the premium butt buffer seat cushion. This company of bikers developed a super thin, hospital grade seat cushion that's made of solid and elastic materials. And it's unlike gel pads that'll leak if punctured. The butt buffer is designed not to slide around your seat. Fits all motorcycles, installs in seconds, easily cleans, and helps dampen those damn vibrations. With plenty of models to choose from, they assure you'll have a comfortable ass when riding. Head on over to the Law-Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of butt buffer seat cushions.
Vibrations on my ass.
I've heard that about you.
All right, moving on. Final thoughts. It is a high performance touring machine, guys. I think the positives well outweighed my negative stuff on it. It's not even negative. It's just valid feedback. And after spending an entire day riding through Valley of Fire, I can confidently say the 2025 Indian PowerPlus lineup does deliver. It's fun. It's powerful. It's well engineered. It's a great riding experience. So to sum it up a little bit, what Indian got right, they produced in the 112 more horsepower and torque than the previous 108 cubic inch motor. It's sleek, it's aerodynamic, batwing and shark nose fairings, guys, to choose from. Inverted forks, radial mounted Brembo brakes, blind spot detection, rear collision warning, and those two are first on an American-made V-twin. So good job on that. And like I said, improved heat management compared to the past models on that right foot. Areas improvement. The ride command system definitely needs an update. I talk about this a lot. Harley's doing it too. These are premium bikes. They absolutely should have a hydraulic system, not cable clutch. Cable clutch is antiquated. It needs a lot of adjustments. Hydraulic is just superior in every way. It's an even pull. It always stays the same. It's consistent. It needs no adjustments to the life of the clutch. It's just a very robust system. Many bike manufacturers, aside from Harley and Indian, have been using it for many years. Harley used it for a lot of years and then went back to cable. It's time, guys. Premium prices, premium bikes, premium brake system, which is hydraulic. Do it. Larger radar unit. The large radar unit on the rear could be integrated for a little bit better for aesthetics on the areas of improvement. Who's the bike for, guys? We already mentioned it. If you want that old school, laid back, air cooled 45V twin, you've got it. You've got options for the Thunderstroke. If you want a powerful high performance touring model, the latest rider assist features for safety and comfort, like we talked about, this stuff is only coming on the PowerPlus 112, guys. And you want a sporty V-twin experience with high revving power, then definitely the 112 PowerPlus lineup is for you. Great bikes. I guarantee you wouldn't be disappointed. But like I say, those who prefer that traditional low-end torque cruiser, the Thunderstroke models might be a better fit. Final verdict, worth it. There you go, guys. If you're looking for that modern high-performance bagger that retains the classic Indian motorcycle charm, the 2025 PowerPlus lineup is an excellent choice. It delivers exciting rider experience, in my opinion. It blends power, comfort, all together with cutting-edge technology, guys. So any final thoughts, Lurch, on that?
I'm excited that we're going to probably get our hands on one for a long-term test and make sure that you get me added on as a rider so that we can both have a good time with it.
You know I will, bro. You know I will. There you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. And we really got a lot of information on there. We're only running 5 minutes behind where we wanted to be because we've got a live event to do, a live video broadcast and chat for our beloved mid-level and above patron members. If you're not involved with that, you should be. It is a fun time, and we will get to chat. And that live broadcast is going to be on the 2025 Harley Cruiser lineup. Of course, that podcast will come out many weeks later after we do the live event to the regular podcast audience, but they'll get it right away. And we love chatting. We have such fun conversations in those, and visually you get to see it. Sometimes we pop things up on our screen and we can feed that in, and we have a lot of jokes that happen between our patron members and us, and
usually at my expense.
Usually at Lurch's expense. That true, fair statement. And so, yeah, we're going to bag out. We got to get the whole live studio set up because this was just a recorded podcast. We got to get the cams going and all that. We got to try to shove some food down my throat real quick. And but we definitely appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget those closing dates that we mentioned up front on the Canada sanctioned law-abiding biker event. We're going to do a 12-day trip up there. We're going to be all over. We're going to lay so many miles. We're going to be in Alberta. We're going to be BC. We're going to be all the way up into the Yukon Territory. We're going to hit the southern end of the Yukon Territory. So you guys know how far up. We're doing a huge loop through Canada, and I couldn't be more excited. And I haven't announced this yet. I'm going to do a really quick short or video on it. But you're the first to know right now. When you hear this, Harley is going to actually sponsor my documentary film on my Canada trip. They're actually throwing funds my way. For the first time, I've been doing documentary films for 14 years. I've done one every damn year. And we sell those films because I put so much time and effort and heart into those. We obviously sell those videos for a year to try to make at least a few pennies back, and it's not much. It basically means I'm getting paid $1 an hour for my creation. It's sad.
We appreciate it.
I know you guys do. It's sad, guys. A lot of people don't want to buy that, which is weird because it's, Anyways, just the way society is. But then I put them out for free on YouTube after a year of selling. But because I'm being sponsored this year, I don't have to worry about any of that. And so I can just create. The funds are there for me to create. And I can just put it out on YouTube in a series right away when I get it done, and I won't be selling it for a year because because Harley's supporting me and supporting me as a creator in my art and, the way I like to express motorcycle films. So I am so elated and so thankful to Harley-Davidson for doing that, for sponsoring me on that film. Maybe Indian will sponsor me on a film sometime. We'll see. That opens the door, and I'm super, super appreciative of that. Thanks for being here, guys. We appreciate y'all so much. Of course, get out there and ride every chance you get, Bikeaholics. It'll free your soul.